I'd love to hear a little bit about your experience in India. If we've never been to India or have lived in India, I just love some insight on, what it looked like for you. How do people interact? How do people get along? How do people look at each other's faiths?
So I think Hinduism, India now is kind of facing a very similar challenge that the US is facing. There's been like a rise in tyranny. There's one ruler who kind of dictates how we should live out our lives in faith. And it is like Hindutva, which is very similar to like Christian nationalism. I'll talk a little bit about how it was when I was there and then maybe just comment on what it is like now. When I was there, Hinduism is such a welcoming religion. It is plural in nature. Like within the faith, there are like thousands of gods. And so like this idea that there is more than one way of believing is so fundamental to like the Indian predominant religion's way of believing. And so it was, I think, very easy for Christians, Muslims, Buddhists to like live in a plural society alongside a majority religion of Hinduism. Like people often like welcomed your conversations. They welcomed your religious festivals. In the neighborhood, you would see people celebrating like Diwali right alongside Christmas. Those celebrate Diwali would also have a Christmas tree. There would also be Muslim celebrations that are slightly more different, but like welcome in that neighborhood. I think it was easy. Yes, there is a persecuted church. Sometimes the persecution that the church receives is because of the power through which we kind of make ourselves seen. I think people see and have used Christianity in India to like further an agenda of power. Those who are Christians within the Christian circles hold some innate power. And I think Christians have used that poorly. But Hinduism in India is so plural. Neighborhoods who've like grown up together are able to coexist really, really well. It's a little different now. The rise of Hindu nationalism has been persecuting Christians, Buddhists, especially Muslims. There's been like a religious war, again, for like holy space, holy land. And that's been going on for a number of decades. There's this time when I was in India where the government at the time, our local government, tried to ban all beef because it is kind of a reverent animal, the cow, but it is also like the livelihood of a lot of Muslims. They are butchers who eat cow because it was the most affordable meat. And this like law was like being passed and everybody was like, this is so discriminatory, which it definitely was. And the student Christian movement at the time, they put out a recipe book on beef, which I think was so subversive and like kind of comical to say like, well, here's a recipe. Here's a one way you could eat beef, but here's a little bit of theology of why like this state and church faith coercion is idolatry. And I still have that book. I think people know to stand up against nationalism really well because of how plural the society is.